I've learned a lot about myself this past year, and one big thing I've noticed is that I'm not always fun to be around, and I'm okay with that right now. And that's because I love being alone. I love doing things my own way. If I'm off routine for 2 to 3 days, it messes me up. Sometimes my brain is full of ideas and problems I'm trying to solve, and other times it's just quiet, no in betweens. Honestly, how good my day is depends on how much alone time I have to myself. That might sound selfish to some people, but it's just what it is to me. And because of that, I say no a lot. No to events, no to random invites, no to stuffs that break my focus. At first, I thought that made me a bad person. I thought I should change and try to be more fun and nice. And that's because we have been raised to be polite, to always smile, to always say yes. We are being told to relax and have fun, even when it doesn't feel right to us. But here's the problem with that. We try so hard to be nice that we forget to be even real. Whenever I try to be more pleasant, to go with the flow, I always end up faking it, which always leads to people trying to take advantage of me, or even end up taking advantage of me. If I try to lighten up and let go of my goals just to be social, my life ends up getting worse. Anytime I do that, I always feel lost, and my progress ends up slowing down. Even some of the goals I used to have started to feel heavy and hard. And that's because it's way harder to chase goals when you're distracted all the time. For me, that includes fitness too. You can't grow in fitness if you keep breaking your momentum just to please people. After thinking about it, I realized something. Being a little unpleasant is a sign that you're on the right track. That's what I believe. And that's because I've seen it in people that I admire. They put their missions first before anything else. And that makes them better friends, better creators, and better leaders. If they lose focus, that affects everything. So what they end up doing is to guide their focus like it's their life. Because it is. And when you do that, people don't like that. Most people don't like you guiding your focus and being very intentional with yourself. When you know what you want and don't change it for other people, you are going to seem difficult to those people. And that's okay, because being focused means that you say no more often. It makes you disagree with stuff that waste your time and energy. But there is a twist. When you become more disagreeable, people respect you more. And that's because they can tell that you are real. If you're too agreeable, people can smell that. They can tell that you're faking it just to be liked. And mind you, no one really trusts someone that always agrees to everything. People trust those that keep it real, even when it's tough. When someone gives honest opinions, even if they are blunt, it's easier to work with them. And that's because you know where you stand already. The rules are clear. They are very solid. And me personally, I love being around people like that. And that's because they tell you to your face what's really going on. But you see, the overly agreeable people, they just want everything to feel okay, even when it's not. It's more like we have put being nice over being honest. And it's ruining most people's life. In real life, nice doesn't mean kind. It often means fake. And that's because people who hate conflict will lie, pretend, or even hide the truth just to avoid awkwardness. And when you care too much about keeping things smooth, what happens is that you give up your own values. You will skip workouts, you eat what you don't want, or miss sleep just to not upset someone. That's not kindness, that's weakness. And I know you might ask yourself, why are so many people stuck in this trap? And that's because they don't care about something deeply enough. They don't have a strong enough goal pulling them forward. When you have a goal, whether it's building your dream body or building a future you love, you just have to be more disagreeable. You say no to weekend distractions. You will say no to foods that allow you to slow down. You will say no to the easy part. But if you don't have something important that you're chasing, you won't fight for anything, which now makes you to say yes to every other thing. If you're in a bad relationship, or your job is underpaying you, or maybe your friendship feels one-sided, and you never speak up or try to make a change, then it means that people pleasing is keeping you stuck. Here's what usually happens when you're too agreeable. 1. Problem builds up quietly until you feel anxious all the time. 2. You help others chase their dreams while your dreams sit in the background rotting. 3. You end up not getting what you want, which leads to a life of regret. But here's the good news. You don't need to be rude to turn things around. You just need to learn how to be disagreeable, but the right way. High agency people are disagreeable by nature. And why? That's because they act on their own vision. They say no to the default life society gives them. They also say no to all distractions trying to knock them off track. Look at someone like Steve Jobs. He was known for being intense, even hard to work with, but that was because he had a clear vision and also refused to compromise. I'm not saying you should act like him, but you do need to develop what we call reality distortion field, meaning you need to believe in your goals deeply that others start believing in it. That's how movement starts. That's how big things are built. I know you must be wondering, but how do we create that type of belief? How do you build a life that makes you proud? Here's the process. Step 1. Obsess over what you want. People who find answers are the ones who never stop thinking about the question. People who solve problems are the ones that stay with it even when it gets very tough. That's what obsession really means. You sit with your goal, you think about it day and night. You train your brain to keep searching even when the solution isn't clear yet. You break the goal into small steps, and each step builds your skill, your habits, your team, and also your mindset. Most people don't get what they want because they don't even know what it is they want. Step 2. Believe that you can do it better. You need to believe that you can bring something valuable into the world. And that's not because you're better than others as a person, but because you care deeply about making something better, even if it's a little. That belief is what makes people create. It's what makes people start businesses. It's exactly the same thing that makes someone show up at the gym every day even when others quit. Creators are not special, they are just focused, and also they believe that their effort matters. If you don't believe that you can add value, you will end up settling. And guess what? No one pays attention to someone who doesn't believe in himself. Step 3. Make a plan that stretches you. Now that you know what you want and also believe in it, you need a bold plan. And I'm not talking about a boring checklist. A plan that feels exciting, challenging. The plan should scare you a little, but feel just possible enough to chase. When you stretch yourself like that, a few things happen. 1. You find flow, which means you get in the zone. 2. You start thinking in new ways. 3. You cut off the fluff and focus on what really matters. That pressure builds something in you. It also makes you anti-fragile. Step 4. You learn to persuade, not manipulate. If you want to build anything, remember you need people. Customers, teammates, supporters, whatever it is. You need to get good at sharing your ideas in a way that makes others move. That's exactly what persuasion is. It's not about tricking people. It's about showing them the transformation, helping them go from before to after. Stories are very powerful. If you can tell a good story, then you can move people. And when you can move people, you can build almost anything. So here is how you can stop being a people pleaser. 1. Get clear on what you want. 2. Believe you can bring something better. 3. Build a bold plan. 4. Tell your story well. 5. Stop giving yeses to things that don't align. You don't have to start the next Apple, but you need the goal that pulls you forward. Whether it's fitness, business, or maybe building a life that you actually want. Being nice won't get you there, but being real will. Also, if you've been training, eating clean, and still don't look the part, you don't need to work harder. You just need to follow the right framework. And that's exactly why I created the Iron Instinct, because I see so many men in this trap. I created 2 clear paths that meet you where you are. Click the link in the description to explore both options and choose the one that fits your goal the best. One gives you structure and tools to build on your own. The other gives you coaching and direct support to accelerate your transformation. Pick what suits you best. Let's stop looking average and start building presence.